Wipro. Do business better.
Hello again from this GTB Wipro TV special at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. We're talking today about M2M and this is episode 9. I'm your host Brian Dolby and I have with me Oliver Kliegl, Head of Strategic Acquisition at Deutsche Telekom, and Marc Overton, VP of M2M and Wholesale at Everything Everywhere. Oliver, M2M, big talking point this week, but when are we going to see some real money-making applications?
Yeah, right now we have a lot of examples, good examples, but M2M is covering lots of segments. We call them verticals, so that would take time as well in some verticals, but there are some verticals like the connected car or the automotive sector, the transport and logistics area where we have already a good money occasion, and yeah, now we have to establish the role of the carriers on that.
What's your view on that, Marc?
No, I completely agree. We're seeing some really early revenue opportunities, especially around existing businesses such as pay-as-you-drive insurance, where connectivity technology is enabling people to have lower insurance premiums, and it can be fitted, as an aftermarket product, so that not into massive industrial lead cycles. But I think we need to keep an eye on what's happening today. And enjoying some of the early growth, but the real opportunities at a major industrial deployments, which are going to take time. And the challenge for us as an industry is to continue to invest and fund in those bigger deployments, while realizing that the short-term opportunities are not going to be as significant as the longer-term ones are.
Do you think the carriers should be looking at sort of vertical or horizontal solutions? Which way do you think they should be going?
I think we need to do both. I think absolutely in terms of the horizontal piece, connectivity, smart devices on smart networks is absolutely what we do. Moving up the value chain into data, devices, data analytics, providing more sort of a managed service approach in certain verticals is also highly logical. But I think the key point for me is that this is a different world. This is not... this is the basis of a smartphone, smart data experience, but it is so much more than that. And I think in that environment, especially venturing into key verticals, we need partners. And that's where we're going to have to partner at a level we've never, as an operator community, partnered before.
Yeah, I thought it was quite significant that Ford had a massive presence here, and that really struck me when I walked in the building.
Absolutely amazing. I understand that last year they actually launched a new car at this show. It is a significant place for automotive to play. It's one of their major strategic drivers. It isn't just about in that environment. It's not just about entertainment and vehicle diagnostics and security. It's also about fundamentally challenging and changing the way people do insurance. Also health cover. You get a huge amount of information when your family are driving around in a car. It is basically an internet node on the move. So for them, this is transformation.
Yeah, it's a vastly changing world.
If I may add, of course, from a carrier point of view, our core business is on the connectivity layer, and that is what we know, what we understand, and where we are really good. But on the next stage, this connectivity area is something where we have a lot of competition and also no real differentiators anymore. Everybody's going from the carrier point of view into that direction. And therefore the central Deutsche Telekom strategy would also go into the direction of the M2M solution area, which, as Marc said, is more than in the direction to a vertical expansion along the M2M value chain, so covering topics like applications and middleware. And that is, especially the middleware area, is very much horizontal. So if you are able then to create an ecosystem around this, to orchestrate this, to make it via standard connectivity points available also for a broader developer community, that would be probably the right and also the right way, and also justify our situation as a company who could shape the market into that direction. So enabling momentum, we would like to approach.
And should operators be going their own way, or should they be looking for partners in these various sectors?
It's always partnering driven, because as Marc said, we have so many different solutions. The craziest one I saw in the last months was something for a cow, so the connected cow for farmers. Even that is an application and a good example for running M2M business approach. But that is very much specified and very much vertical. And the question from a carrier point of view is, should we go to vertical in all these things? Can we deliver then promiseful and successful applications and business solutions? So the idea is, let's focusing on some key verticals. As you mentioned, automotive is one of them, energy, healthcare, and the rest, which is not so much in the focus on that side, let's go via partners, of course.
Yeah. Is that your view as well? I'm fascinated about connected cows, by the way.
That's I haven't come across a connected cow. I've got images of where do you put the connectivity, but let's move on.
Let's not go there.
What I think is really interesting is there is an opportunity here, and I think the MNOs play a really important role in leading this connectivity transformation of various verticals. And we can't do that on our own. We have a certain amount of credibility, but it's working with best-in-class providers in those verticals. It's leveraging our go-to-market, our channels, our brand, our buying power, our scale, bringing together, as Oliver was saying, an ecosystem of other providers who understand this space. Yeah. And I see a lot of similarity with our wholesale model, actually, where we're working with partners to better target and maximize the opportunities in certain verticals. So it's a really interesting time at the moment, and these ecosystems are only now starting to really develop.
So what you're talking about here are some of the skills and the assets that operators can bring to this, really.
Definitely, and the channels and the customer base. You know, my company, we have 27 million customers. You know, they are all consuming some of these applications. So how can we bring them to life? Not necessarily on the high street through their smartphone, but maybe through their milk with the connected cow. You know, it's taking a full end-to-end view of some of these big transformational propositions.
Is that what you're seeing as well, Oliver?
Yeah, definitely. However, I have to state that Marc is coming very much from the local connectivity side, and that is also important. But we, as Deutsche Telekom, founded or built up a dedicated central team, which is also focusing, of course, on connectivity layer activities, but at the same time also on the end-to-end solution approach. And therefore, we build up a real big partner network. The M2M area or overall market is very much fragmented in these days. So you have different players from the hardware side, from the application side, from the middleware side, from the integrator side, in the sense of system integration. And there we have many partners, but we announced, funny-wise, also 3 days ago here at the Mobile World Congress, a big partnership with IBM. And that shows also the opportunities on this, let's say, global player side, in the sense of a real completion approach by bringing in each party's strengths and competencies. And IBM, for example, comes very much from the software and platform side. We coming as a carrier, as a connectivity provider from the connectivity and hardware side. And this is an ideal basis to create a win-win situation. Of course, we have now to detail further with respect to the go-to-market approach, which role each party should have. Yeah? So who is the end face to the customer. But we think it's really a promiseful approach, and we have a lot of motivated statements from the press, from the analysts also about that, and from IBM and the senior management as well.
So, Marc, do you think that we're going to see some significant developments in M2M by the time we sit down here in Barcelona? Hopefully not with herds of cows walking through the show.
I think next year we need to see the revenue streams coming through, that this is moving from PowerPoint, pilot and case study into real business transformation. Certainly from my shareholders' perspective, they want to start to see the money coming through, and as we share the same shareholder, I know the same with Oliver, and there's a lot of pressure. But what I would say, this is a different business model. It's longer term. It's going to require more investment than people expect. But I think it is absolutely the ground rules and a basis for a long-term sustainable telecoms industry.
Okay, well, it's a fastly changing world here in Barcelona. Thanks for joining us.
Wipro. Do business better.